Mofongo, a dish older than the island's own name. From Puerto Rico, where the green plantain is fried soft, then pounded by hand in a heavy wooden mortar. The pilón, garlic, golden olive oil, crackling pork, all of it crushed together until it packs into a single warm dome. It carries 3 worlds inside it: Africa in the pounding, the taino in the plantain and the stone, and Spain in the sizzling oil. A whole history you can hold in one hand. Mofongo cannot be hurried, and it cannot be kept. It must be pounded hot and eaten while it is still warm from the pilón. Let it sit too long, and it turns heavy and tight. This is why it belongs to the home and to the hand. No machine can truly make it. A blender gives you paste, smooth and lifeless, but the wooden pestle leaves the plantain in soft, uneven pieces, some yielding, some still with a little bite. The grandmothers on the island will tell you that you do not measure mofongo. You listen to it. You pound until the sound turns from a wet slap to a soft, hollow thud. And then you know it is ready. 6 servings, 20 minutes to prepare, and 20 minutes over the oil. 40 minutes in all. 6 green plantains, 6 cloves of garlic, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 cup of pork rinds, the chicharrón, half a cup of olive oil, and 3 cups of oil for the frying. We begin with the plantains. Green, firm, picked long before they ever turn sweet. Their skins are tight and cling hard to the fruit. So we score each one down its length and lift the peel away in thick green ribbons. Then, one by one, we cut them into rounds, about 1 inch thick. 6 plantains in all, a small, quiet heap of pale green coins waiting by the stove. Into a deep pan, 3 cups of oil. We warm it slowly over a medium flame until it reaches 350 degrees. Not smoking, not roaring, just a gentle, steady heat, the kind that shimmers and waits. Lower in a single piece, and it should barely whisper. A soft ring of little bubbles rising slow and easy all around the edge. Now the plantains go in small batches, never crowded, so the oil stays calm and warm. They fry gently for 10 to 12 minutes. And here's the patience of it. We do not want them brown. We do not want them crisp. Only cooked through and soft and pale gold, like late afternoon light. Turn them once. Let them cook until a fork slips through without a sound. Then lift them out one by one and let them rest a moment. Still hot, still steaming, on a cloth beside the pilón. And now, the pilón. Pilón, the heavy wooden mortar that lives at the heart of every kitchen on the island. Into its worn bowl, 6 cloves of garlic and 1 teaspoon of salt. The salt is not only for taste. Each grain is a tiny stone that helps the garlic break down. We take up the pestle and we press and turn and press again. The garlic gives way slowly from sharp little pieces into a smooth, pale, fragrant paste. Take your time here. This is the quietest moment of all. Now we build it. A handful of the hot plantains into the pilón. A little of the pork rinds, the chicharrón, and a slow thread of olive oil. Half a cup in all, added a little at a time. And then we pound, not to crush it smooth, but to fold it together. The plantain softens against the garlic. The pork crackles and melts into it. Add another handful and pound again. Slow and steady, a soft, hollow thud, until it all comes together, warm and whole. When it holds together, it is ready to take its shape. We press the warm mixture down, firmly, into a small bowl, packing it tight so it remembers the round. 6 little mounds for 6 seats at the table. Then a plate laid over the top, and 1 gentle turn of the wrist, and the mofongo falls, whole, a smooth golden dome, crowned with garlic and gold. Serve it now, while it is still warm. To understand this dome of plantain, you have to cross an ocean back to West and Central Africa. For the heart of mofongo is African. When people were stolen from those shores and carried to the Caribbean in chains, they brought almost nothing with them, but they carried their hands, and their hands remembered fufu. Fu-fu, a soft mound of starchy root, yam or cassava or plantain, boiled and then pounded in a tall wooden mortar until it turned smooth and yielding. A food of home, a food of comfort. That memory survived the crossing when so little else was allowed to. Even the name still remembers Africa. Mofongo, some say, comes down from the languages of the Congo, spoken across Angola, and the heart of Central Africa. A word for something soft and mashed and folded together by hand. But the island shaped it too. The plantain was fried in the Spanish way, in hot oil, and the deep wooden pilón, echoes the mortars of both Africa and the Taíno, the first people of the island. who called their home Boriken. Boriken. 3 worlds, 1 bowl. For a long time, this was humble food. Plantains were cheap and filling. They grew almost everywhere, and they fed almost everyone. The poor, the enslaved, the working hands of the countryside. A dish born of what little there was. But over the generations, something quiet happened. The island began to see itself in the bowl. What was once the food of scarcity slowly became the food of belonging. Puerto Ricans carried mofongo with them into the cities and across the water to the mainland. And everywhere they went, the pilón went too. Today, mofongo is one of the proudest dishes of Puerto Rico. You will find it everywhere. In grand restaurants, hollowed out and filled with garlic shrimp or slow stewed meat. And in the little roadside kitchens, the kioscos, where the sound of the pilón never truly stops. But ask anyone from the island where the best mofongo is found, and they will not name a restaurant. They will tell you it is the one made at home, by a mother, by a grandmother, in a pilón worn smooth, by 3 generations of the same patient hands. So this is mofongo, moh-FONG-goh. A dome of green plantain, fried soft and pounded warm, with garlic and golden oil and the crackle of chicharrón. Chicharrón. Turn it out onto the plate, still holding the shape of the pilón. Lift a single forkful, and you are tasting 3 worlds at once. The African hands that pounded it, the taíno, plantain and mortar, and the Spanish oil that made it gold. It is the rarest kind of recipe, one that survived the crossing and the chains and the long centuries of being called humble. It survives because it was never trying to impress anyone. It was only ever trying to feed the people who loved it, and to remind them at every meal of exactly who they are and how far they have come. Press the last dome from the bowl. Set it gently on the plate. Call the family in, and the table at last is set.